come join us on our dog-friendly holiday to Scotland. We wanted to make the journey from home in Hertfordshire to the Highlands in a day, so left early on a Sunday morning. We gave a little wave to Percy on the way through, and then hit up the A1 to our first stop 3 hours later at Blyth services. After a quick coffee, we were back on the road. From there it was up to Scotch Corner, across the A66, and over to Carlisle. Here we had another quick break. It was a stretch of the legs, a drink of water, and a toilet break for Buddy. From here it was just under 300 miles to the Highlands, so we grabbed some yum-yums, we grabbed some more fuel, and I had a break from Buddy. Winston was pretty sick of travel at this point. We had all the car snacks as we hit Scotland, sausage rolls, 1.5 kilos of sweets, and that kept us pretty well stocked until we got to Loch Ness in Scotland. Here we had a slightly longer break, about an hour and a half, to really let the dogs kind of stretch their legs. And we took a stroll over to Pitlochry Dam. There is a salmon ladder here or something. I'm not quite sure how it works, but there you go. From there we walked back into town where we saw a Christmas shop with a reminder there's just over 100 days to Christmas. The boys were pretty patient, but we bought some more outdoor clothes, and then back in the car for the final leg of the journey. In Inverness we got some more petrol, and from there it was about 20 minutes until we hit our final destination. We spent the week at a place called Eagle Brae, a series of log cabins in the Scottish Highlands. They sleep between 2 to 6 people and are all dog friendly. The boys were super excited to get in and have a look around. Buddy's sliding all over the place as he checks out the lodge. This one slept 2, had 2 living spaces and a nice bathroom. It even came with a cute little welcome hamper. Happy with the inside, Buddy then goes to check out the outside. Our cabin Tringa, one of the 10 located on site, had the best views of the valley below. The owners of Eagle Brae are big on sustainability, so our log cabin, along with all the others, have a living roof, which is pretty cool. They also offer a concierge service where they can bring groceries and cook meals to your lodge. We ordered a shepherd's pie, which made dinner on the first evening very easy. The next morning the boys were pretty keen to explore, and Buddy found a potential love interest on the holiday. We then went for a short walk to go and see the dam that powers all the lodges, quickly realising that short doesn't mean flat. It was a pretty steep trek up the hill, but well worth the views when we got up the top. Buddy completely ignored the health and safety warnings and went for a little swim by the dam. Fun fact, this generates about 75 kilowatts of power for the lodges. We continued the walk across the top of the mountain, Winston doing things at his own pace, before we then started the walk back down the hill and given the chance for the boys to have a rest. In the afternoon we made our way over to Loch Ness, stopping for a couple of pictures along the way, before heading into town and grabbing some cake at a cafe. We then had a little walk and went back to the lodge. When we got back, we saw the deer had moved in next to the lodges. They often walk around the deck area, and all of us decided to relax with a book and just enjoy the lodge and the views. What's not to like? At this point, the dogs are exhausted, and both are sleeping in very weird positions. They had dinner in front of the window, and then more book time. We took it slightly more chill on the Tuesday. I went off to go and see Shanti, Buddy's holiday girlfriend, and get some advice on where we could go canoeing. On this occasion, we left the dogs in the lodge and went to explore on our own. We pumped up the canoe and head up the river. Only for a couple of kilometres, but it was incredible. Even got the chance to see some wild osprey. Back at the lodge, I took Buddy up the hill again just to stretch his legs. He was honestly in love with being in the mountains. We then head back down where he had a little flirt with his holiday girlfriend. The next morning we woke up and it was pretty foggy. I think this was the worst weather we had all week. It rained a little bit in the morning, but by 11 o'clock it was dry. So we jumped in the car and we went on a road trip to Ullapool, stopping at black waterfalls along the way. It was a nice series of waterfalls and woodland walks, and it gave the dogs a chance to have a little explore. Buddy went for a splash, and Winston, again, he stuck with the adults. From there, it was about another 50 miles up to Ullapool, which is a fishing town up on the northwest coast of Scotland. After a quick walk around town, we stopped at Tea by the Sea for some coffee and cake. We sat in front of the cafe enjoying the view, which you can't appreciate because there's a car in the way, but it was great. From there, we took a walk across the harbour to go and see the boats. Considering it started out cold and wet that morning, it was now pretty warm at 21 degrees, so a perfect excuse to get some ice cream. And we made sure the boys had some too. Considering how nice it was, we continued up the coast to get some pictures and had a little walk up the mountain. Winston wanted to see this big pile of rocks. It was then time to head back from Knock-and-Crag National Park to the lodge, which was a journey of about 70 miles in total. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. And we'll be dropping part 2 later on in the week.